Hello, my name is Pamela Jordan, and I'm coming to you as an African American woman and as president and head of school of Idyllwild Arts. Our country is reeling from the death of George Floyd, an African American man who was brutally murdered by a Minneapolis police officer. Mr. Floyd's cry, "I can't breathe," was repeatedly ignored by the officers who stood by and watched the life be suffocated out of his body. I grew up on the south side of Chicago in a loving family with my mother, father, and 3 siblings. I was the youngest of the 4 children. We lived a normal life, which means that my parents created a loving home while preparing us to prevail in the broader society. I was in my teenage years before I realized that when I spoke with my mother about a conflict I was having with someone, she would always ask me the ethnicity of the person. It wasn't until much later that I realized that my mother was teaching me how to base my response on the color of their skin instead of the content of my character. For much too long, African American mothers and fathers across America have had to teach their children how to code switch, how to ignore their civil rights and civil liberties in order to stay alive. George Floyd's death at the hands of law enforcement has happened far too often in this country. In fact, despite only making up 13% of the U.S. population, Black Americans are 2.5 times as likely as white Americans to be killed by the police. I'm grateful for Idyllwild Arts, where we draw people from around the world to learn about cultures and experiences that are different from our own. The arts teach compassion and empathy, and as citizens of this country, indeed citizens of the world, we must find a way for all of us to embrace the human values that are entitled to all people. It is difficult to ignore events that are occurring around the world. And as we work to bring our students back to campus amidst this national uprising and global challenge, I firmly believe, now more than ever, in our mission to change lives through the transformative power of art. It is time to delve into that power in order to elevate freedom and creativity, to elevate tolerance, acceptance, understanding, and kindness, and to elevate humanity. I, like the entire Idyllwild Arts community, believe that art making is not the sole outcome of a creative life, but rather the means to constant and necessary growth. Today, I stand with the students, alumni, faculty, staff, and board of Idyllwild Arts against the racism, hatred, and violence that is ravaging this country. I wish each of you good health and safety, and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.